What's up, everyone? My name is Jalen. I have glasses on, but I can see. Anyway, this is just for the aesthetic. I'm going to talk to you guys about how I made $200K my first year in officialized entrepreneurship, and most importantly, how you can too. I'm gonna take these glasses off now because that glare is getting on my nerves. Bye! Let's make your first six figures. Making six figures is super easy. Making six figures is super easy for me. 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 I had to implant the belief into my mind that making six figures would be super easy for me. Not only is it super easy, but it was super easy for me to do. I had to brainwash myself by listening to audiobooks. I had to brainwash my mind to think in terms of success, to think at higher levels, to change my identity that I had as a person who was broke and as a person who wasn't making a lot of money to a person who was capable of making six figures or more. I had to adopt that new belief, and that came with doing the inner work on myself, listening to different podcasts, listening to audiobooks, listening to affirmations every day, and affirming to myself that I am worthy, I am capable, I am making six figures in this year. And I didn't think like that previously, because in 2020, when I started my business, my first e-commerce business, I didn't have any goals. I had absolutely no goals. I had absolutely no mission. I just decided to open up the business, and I just knew that I wanted to make money. I did not know how much money I wanted to make, but I was gonna do it. I was like, we're gonna figure it out. And when somebody asked me how much money do you want to make, I was like, I don't want to limit it. I don't want to limit it. You are not limiting yourself by giving yourself a goal. When you give yourself a goal, you are giving your subconscious mind something to focus on, and then you're going to start to become the person necessary to make that goal happen. But if you have no goal in mind, you are just going to continue to reach the same places that you've been reaching before, because whatever your base belief is, whatever your base money potential has been thus far, that's what you're going to continue to do. So in order to raise the bar, to raise the frequency, you have to create a goal. And that's what I did in January. In January of 2021, and moving a little bit into towards 2021, I really got clear about goals. I clearly defined what it is that I wanted based off of what I thought to believe to be true. At first, it was something more around $10,000 a month, $10,000 to $15,000 a month. I said, well, if I, added a little bit of extra momentum and I did this, I might be able to reach $10,000 to $15,000 a month. That seems cool. And then once I figured out that I felt like I could do that, I was like, I gotta stretch it. I gotta make this bigger so that I can be bigger. I got to the goal about $20,000 a month. $20,000 a month felt very scary to me, but it also felt very exciting to me, and it felt like something that, oh my God, if I made $20,000 a month for my e-com store, that would be absolutely great. It made me really happy. So that's the goal that I set for myself. And that's the first step to this whole process of making six figures and how I made my first six figures. It was clearly defining my goal and having a clear goal in mind. The moment that I introduced more clarity in my mind, that was the moment that I began to walk in the path of making my first six figures from my e-commerce store. And then I also have other streams of income. My biggest stream of income was definitely my e-com store in 2021. Clarity itself changed my life in a lot of different ways. I got clear about the different businesses I also wanted to start in 2021. What businesses did I want to create? What businesses did I like? What did I want to be known for on YouTube? Who was I? Where was my heart at? I changed my content around, and I start speaking from my heart. Because before, I was speaking to things that were working for me and what people were used to, and I knew worked, so I wanted to continue to do it. But something happened in early 2021 where I realized I am not enjoying this YouTube thing anymore. It feels like work. It doesn't feel fun anymore. I got clear about who I was, where I was in my journey, and what I wanted to really speak to and what I wanted to speak about. And that's when I started to introduce goddess energy and divine femininity and speaking from my heart. And the first video that I posted about that, it didn't do really well at first. It was low, and you get these little notifications on YouTube that tell you how your video is performing. And it was like, yeah, your audience isn't really interested in this. It's not really performing well. And I felt sad because I'm like, dang, this is who I am. This is who I am right now, and I'm giving the world who I am, and they don't like it. That sucks. Until a couple weeks later, the video skyrocketed, and that was my most viewed video in 2021, and that catapulted this whole train of success where I was able to rebrand myself again, because I've done this multiple times on my channel. I rebranded myself again, and I basically spoke from my heart, and it all started to work out. People started to reach out to me from all different directions, all these celebrities and these huge Instagram stars and these people. They were like, I was really moved by what you said. I was really moved by what you were saying. I can tell the messages that you were speaking were coming from your heart, and this helped me so much. I started to help a lot of more people. The more clear I got about who I was, what I wanted to talk about, where I was in my journey, and I got clear about that, and I shared that with people, I shared that with the world, that's when all these views came out of nowhere. I will be really honest with you. I gained 200 subscribers in February of 2021. In March, I gained about, I think it was 16,000. And in April, it was 20,000. The difference between February and March was that I got very, very clear about who I was. And because I was clear about who I was, I shared that energy with people on the internet. And I gave people true value that was coming from my heart. So 2 points of clarity. Clarity about who I was and the messages that I wanted to share with the world. And then clarity about where I wanted to take my business and the exact goals, how much money I wanted to make in my e-commerce brand. Clarity is absolutely essential for this whole journey in entrepreneurship. The clearer that you can get on your numbers, the clearer that you can get on your purpose, the clearer that you can get on your message, and the clearer that you get on your passion, the more money you will make. I guarantee it. In 2021, I made the biggest financial mistake. It cost me $50,000. If you want me to make a whole video about that, especially I'm introducing a new channel where I'm going to be talking about entrepreneurship and all the things I'm getting into. I might make a new video on there. If you want me to talk about my $50,000 mistake and how it messed me up in 2021, let me know down in the description box, and also subscribe to my new channel, Jalen Brunson, to talk about entrepreneurship and money. Clarity on everything is so important. The more clear that you can get, the more money that you will make. The more clarity you have over your numbers and your direction and your message, the more money you will make. 2, strategy. Now that I had clarity over my goals, I had clarity over where I wanted to go, I had clarity about who I was, and I had clarity about my message, the strategy started to be implemented. I started to create a strategy, because now that I have clarity, I got clarity by looking at my numbers. I got clarity of looking at my analytics. I got clarity of understanding my message and writing it down, really clearly defining who my target audience was, really clearly defining who my target clients were, really clearly defining the type of customers I wanted to have from my e-commerce brand. All across all the things that I did, the more clarity I got, okay, the more I researched it and I defined it, then I was able to create a strategy, which is number 2, how I made my first 6 figures. I developed a strategy. Because I empowered myself with clarity, which is data, analytics, numbers, message, then I was able to strategize by using that. For example, in my e-commerce brand, I knew that I wanted to make $20,000 a month. So I was able to look at what I was doing. I had data because I started. I didn't sit around and waiting and thinking, analysis paralysis. I already started my business. I already had the courage to start my business. I already had the courage to just do the thing. So after I had all that data and I had just been, been doing the thing, even though I didn't know where I was going and know what I was doing, I was making it happen and I was just learning through the process. Then all of a sudden I have all this data. From the data, right? Let's say I had a certain amount of people looking at my store every single month. And let's say out of this many amount of people that look at my store, this amount of people buy something. And let's say the average item on my store cost around $70. Okay, so if I am making like $10,000 and at this many people coming to my store at this average order value, at this conversion rate, awesome. Well, maybe all I have to do is double the amount of people that come to my store in order for me to make double the amount of money. So I created a strategy. I knew that it would take double the amount of people to come to my store in order to make double the amount of money at the same conversion rate, at the same average order value. So at the same amount of money that people usually spend on my store based on the data. So now that I had the data to analyze, then it was like, okay, well, How can I make more people come to my store? How can I drive more traffic to my store? How can I get people spending more money on my store? How can I get more people to spend more money on my services? How can I get more people to spend more money on my courses? How can I get more traffic to my landing pages? How can I get myself to be at a position where I specialize in something and I become really, really good at something so that I can charge more money? Strategy. I came up with a strategy. I came with a strategy to spend more money on advertisement. I came up with a strategy to plug more of myself and my offers in my YouTube videos. And every YouTube video that I posted, I made sure to promote myself, like to have, shameless promotion and really put myself out there. I made sure that I was strategic about everything that I did. And that was my strategy. I wasn't doing mindless actions and doing things just to let's just do it. I was very strategic about where I wanted to go because now I knew where I wanted to go. I knew where I wanted to be. I knew what I had done already. I know what's working for me now. How can I amplify it? And how can I fix the things that are not working? And that's the strategy. That is the development of a strategy. And the easiest way to develop a strategy is to look at your data. Analyze all the data that you have and see where you can do better and see where you can do more. And that's how I came up with my strategy. The third key to making my first 6 figures: to execute. It was to execute. You see, most people know where they want to go. And once they know where they want to go, they dream about it, they visualize it, they think about it, they plan it all out. The very next thing that they fail to do is actually do the damn thing. Most people talk, but they do not walk. And I had to learn how to be a walker. I'm a very imaginative, creative, spiritual type of person. And I love energy. I love frequency. I love matter. I love talking in ways like that. And I love thinking like that. I just naturally think astrologically. That's who I am as a person. But I knew that I had to be able to tell the world who I was. And the only way that the world would know who I was, the only way that the world would be able to see my products and purchase and touch them, the only way that people will be moved by my courses, where people can have that inner transformation, where people can learn from me, was if I put myself out there and if I actually did it. I empowered myself with the knowledge, the skills, and the information. I knew where I wanted to go. I knew my goal. I knew my message. I knew who I wanted to target. I knew who would be my soulmate dream client. And I spoke to that person as much as possible. But the key was, I did it. Most people never do it. I know people who told me that they would be starting their YouTube channel 3 years ago, and now to this day they still have not posted. Or I know people who have started a YouTube channel or started their business and they tried 2 videos and those 2 videos flop, and they automatically assume that that is all they're gonna be able to do and reach, so they stop. Most people have a fear of success. Most people have a fear of failure, so they procrastinate. Underneath the energy of procrastination is the underlying belief that you are not worth it and that you are not enough. So that's why I go back to the very, very, very first point of tapping into the energy of belief into yourself. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that you're worth it. And most importantly, you have to believe that it is possible, not only for somebody else, but for you. Because if you don't believe that it's possible, you're never gonna do it. You have to have the courage to do it anyway. I guided my cousin through this process of starting a business for herself. And when she was doing her descriptions and on her products and she was creating her website, she started crying because she was breaking past all of her ancestral beliefs, all of her limiting beliefs that told her that she was not enough. She was facing that fear. Facing that fear of failure, facing that fear of everybody in her family line never being a millionaire, everybody in her family line doing the same thing over and over again, not ever living up to their full potential. She cried, but I guided her through that process and she continued. When you start a business, you will be faced with all of your limiting beliefs. All of your limiting beliefs when it comes to your own self-worth, all of your limiting beliefs when it comes to money, all of your limiting beliefs when it comes to success. It will be all in front of you. You're gonna have hesitations for pricing yourself. You're gonna have hesitations for putting yourself out there. You're gonna be afraid that something is gonna go wrong if you show the world who you are, because you are breaking past your inner barriers. But if you can actually do the damn thing, That's how you get success. And that is the hardest part of the process. People say that making money is so hard. No. It's not. Making money is so easy. Making money is literally so easy. It's not even about being easy, it's very simple. But because it's so simple, you actually have to do the simple actions to get there. Discipline, consistency. I've been on YouTube for almost a decade. I've never had a job in my life. The only job that I've ever had is social media. The only way that I did that, the only way that I got there was from consistency. And now every single year, I thank myself for being so freaking consistent and believing in something more bigger than myself and understanding that it was possible for me to get here. Because my little 14-year-old self believed in me and believed in that journey and believed in that process, I'm here now. And because I had belief in myself, I got so motivated to be consistent. You have to be willing to be consistent even when you don't see results right away. You have to believe in the vision. You have to believe that if you continue to take this action, you will get to where you want to go. And not just any action, empowered action. You're taking empowered action based off of the data that you've analyzed, based off of the information that you've been intaking and the belief in yourself that you've been having, and based off of knowing exactly where you want to go. You empower yourself with that information, you empower yourself with that energy, and you use that to fuel you and actually do it. That's how you become successful. That's how I made my first 6 figures. It is all a game of products, systems, and marketing. If you have a good product that somebody and a lot of people out there want, or a good amount of people out there want, and you price yourself accordingly, you'll be able to make a lot of money. If you have the correct system, so you have the right people working for you in your business, because let me tell you something, you are not gonna be able to do everything. At some point when you become successful, you're gonna have to have a team. I got an email person, I got a person who's posting for my social media, I got a person who was helping me fulfill orders and packing orders, because child, let me tell you something. The first time you get an email and somebody cursing you out and you got to take a deep breath and realize you can't curse them back out, child, you got to have patience, and I don't have all that patience, so I had to get somebody else to do that for me. And honestly, emails start coming in and it just be a lot. Systems, your operations, and then marketing. How you market yourself and also how you brand yourself. The colors that you're using, the vibe that you're making people feel, knowing who you're targeting, knowing who you're speaking to. What is the best way to really get across to them? Your avenue, the strategy, right? The marketing plan. How are you getting your messages out there? How are you getting your voice out there? How are you getting your products out there? Whether it's influencer marketing, YouTube marketing, Facebook ads, whatever the case is, organic traffic. What is your message and how are you translating that to people? Marketing. If you master those 3 things, you will easily make 6 figures and more. And that's how I made my first 6 figures in 2021. I made 2 6 figures, and I probably would have made more if I didn't mess up. I probably would have made a lot more than that if I didn't make a certain mistake. But I literally, that was one of the things I realized. I had limiting beliefs. I had limiting beliefs, and I actually made like $190 something thousand on my Shopify store in 2021. But with courses, with coaching, with reading, with consultations, with sponsorships, and my YouTube check, I made way over $2,000, probably more like $2,050 or $300,000 in 2021. But I could have made a lot more, because it was actually a process where I started hitting a super high goal. When I started making $20,000 a month consistently from one of my stores, I actually decided I actually have to do something bigger. I've already been hitting this. I need to expand it. And literally the month that I decided to expand that goal and make it bigger, I got like super close to it. It freaked me out and I sabotaged myself because I had containment issues. I had container issues. I wasn't able to hold on to the wealth and hold on to the money. That's why the inner work is also so important. And that's what cost me a $50,000 mistake. I'll talk about that later if y'all want me to talk about that. But I've learned a lot. It's a learning journey. It's a process. You have to love the process. When you love the process, you'll love the journey. And when you love the journey, like making the money is just, it becomes exciting, right? You'll obviously love it, but you need to become obsessed with getting there. Like your process of getting there, your present moment, and seeing the growth and seeing the little like indicators that you're actually changing, that's what's going to motivate you the most. Every single day, every single week, every single month, I look look back at myself and I'm like, wow, I think deeper. I think bigger. I think more expansive. I'm growing rapidly. And I believe that this year will probably be one of the biggest years of my life financially. But it's because I'm investing so much into my mind and into my energy and my frequency. And I'm really working. I've done the inner work on myself, because it's super easy to make money, but it's another thing to hold it. And that's the other lesson I learned. There's a difference between making money and stacking money, having assets. And that's the things that I'm learning more and more this year. And having that information and also having the keys to making money, boom, it has been absolutely great. I have been flourishing in ways that I've never had before. And I feel so good. I feel so empowered. This is what is possible if you get out of your own way. You start, plan, you look, you think, and you get it done. This is what's possible. Now, if you want help to start your business, if you are serious, if you are ready to start this process and you want to work with me, I will work with individuals one-on-one, probably on live because you're not currently in my area for the most of y'all. If you want to work with me one-on-one to create your business from scratch, we will strategize, we will monetize, we will brand. I will share with you everything I've learned thus far to make multiple six figures and more in this class, this short one-on-one class. Definitely check out the links in the description box. Book a class with me and I will teach you everything that I know, and I will be your mentor, and we will build this business together, only if you're serious. I'm also coming out with a business course and a money course. So if you want to be notified when that's available, subscribe down below. Check out that link down below in the description box as well. But yeah, y'all, that's how I made my first six figures. That's how I made over $200,000 in 1 year. And I'm talking making and earning like 70,000 subscribers in like a short amount of time. I'm talking being able to go from making $20,000 or $10,000 a year to making $200,000 a year and more in very short amount of time based off of the things that I've learned. Definitely, if you want to follow my journey, I'm trying to get into real estate. I'm getting into real estate. I'm getting into another business, right? I'm opening up another e-com store, and I'm doing other things as well. If you want to learn more about my journey and like everything I learned, I'm just going to share with you guys, definitely check out my financial channel, my money channel. Okay, Jalen Brunson, I'm so freaking excited. Like, I can't wait to just share this journey with y'all, and just so we can motivate, we can inspire, and we can get there. I want to see as many people win as possible, and I want everyone to know how accessible it is to be able to be this successful if you have the consistency and if you have the belief in yourself, right? The blend of the masculine and the feminine. If you have the belief in yourself and you visualize it and you can imagine it for yourself and you actually do the things necessary to get there, you're gonna be able to be anything that you want. It's limitless. You are limitless. Your potential is limitless. It depends on what you want. And also, if you're confused about what business to start, you don't know what business to start, whether it's courses, classes, services, your own physical product business, e-com, whatever the case is, definitely check out the link down below where you can get my ebook where I break down how you can figure out which business is suited for you, and you can learn more about which business is suited for you, so you can get clarity about how you can go about making that six figures, girl. How you can go about making that six figures, boy. How you can go about making your first $1 million, okay? Period. So subscribe to my new YouTube channel, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.